is off, one is electronics, but for you guys it's always on number 2. It's going to take 20 minutes to heat up. You'll know when it's at the temperature because the top pressure gauge will be on the 1. Also you'll have steam from these two and also hot water from the boiler itself. The water from the coffee groups, that is pumped out, so that will always produce water regardless of if it's up to temperature or not. When making a drink, the water pressure will fluctuate, but when you actually make a drink, it wants to be around the 9 bar mark. The only way that you can achieve 9 bars is by adding a resistance. So the resistance would be obviously the coffee. Water hits the coffee, coffee stops the water from going, it builds a pressure, and then it finally will flow through the coffee. If the coffee is too fine, then what happens is you get coffee will drip out and it tastes really burnt. If it comes through too quick, obviously there's no resistance, it's going to be like filter coffee, it's just going to be just black, no crema. Sometimes if people over pour, so sometimes people will get a cup, pop it under there, and they'll use this little one here, which is the continuous button, and they'll just continually fill the cup up. It's not the way to do coffee. It will burn the coffee, over extract the coffee, bring out all the nasty bits out of the coffee, and it will just not be very nice. It's a bit like making orange squash. You put that much, if you start to over pour it, it's just not going to be the same as if you do it the right ratio for that. So yeah, obviously these 3 all produce the same. So what I've done, because you've got double handles which have the same amount of space, double space in there, so basically these 2 will produce the same shot, same as these 2 on this one, same as these 2 on this one. To make life a little bit easier, I've made these 2 buttons a flush button, so it just produces a little bit of water in between making your drinks. Now you probably noticed that I wiped the coffee out before, because you don't want any old coffee in there. Because you're only doing doubles, you press the double cup, and this little button here, you push with the handle. I've set the grinder to put 17 grams of coffee in here. So by the time when you level it off and you use your tamp, the idea of the tamp is to make it as flat and as firm as possible. If, for instance, I didn't tamp correctly and it was a bit loose down one side, the water's just going to find the easiest path basically. So by tamping it correctly, getting the right amount in there, means that the water will evenly extract through the coffee. So what we should have a coffee that will take around 25 seconds to pour, thereabouts, but it should come out with a slow start with lots of kind of crema or cream on top of the coffee, because that machine is forcing its way through that coffee and extracting all the goodness out of that ground coffee. Basically this is the basis of any coffee drink. Everything starts with a single or a double espresso. There's no kind of half shot as you like a half an espresso, or I mean sometimes do a treble shot, but basically what everything normally is will be a single or double shot of coffee, and that's what it should look like. For cleaning wise, obviously the tray